Monday morning quarterback episode 66 coming at you. Hope you guys had a good start to your Monday. And man, is it a hot one. We finally dodged the rain, kinda, this past weekend and got some racing in. We were at a number of different tracks. Jordan went to Brownstown last Wednesday and then Paragon Friday. Me and Trevor were at the Brickyard, Mini Indy for the Robbie Stanley race Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, helping customers there. And then they got the midget race in at Joliet. Sunshine got second and extended his points lead there, so that was good. And then Sunday they got qualifying and one heat in at Hobstop before it rained. So we still can't seem to kick this rainy trend, but hopefully as we're leading into Battle at the Brickyard week this week and Sprint week coming up, hopefully Mother Nature starts playing nice. But man, it seems like we went from spring and nice cooler days to just hot and humid, man. It was a couple long days out there at Mini Indy, which is a race we look forward to every year, the Robbie Stanley Memorial. Of course, we're friends with the Stanley family, and that's just a tradition-rich race for the quarter midget kids. It's what I'd call a t-shirt race. You win it, you get your name on the t-shirt, which gets handed out every year, and there's not too many of those in quarter midgets, so that's a real special race. I think this was a 24th annual, and we were super pumped that our buddy Colin Mitchell was able to win that, and he had a fantastic 2 days of racing, winning 5 classes. All in all, CSI got 10 of the 12 competitive Class A main wins, which is awesome. Super proud of all those guys. Exceeded our expectations. Colin got 5. Grant Volkner got 3. Case James got 1. Jace Clark got 1. Molly Clark got 1. So super good week, and we're going to carry that momentum right into the Brickyard, which is the biggest quarter midget race of the year, and really cool for the kids to get to race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So also this week is a race that a lot of people are looking forward to. I'm a little bummed that I can't go, but Brickyard is where I'll be. Jake will be there, but it's the Corn Belt Nationals at Knoxville, so $20,000 to win non-wing sprint car race at Knoxville. Knoxville is always one of my favorite tracks to go to. Just love the facility and the history of that place. Growing up as a kid, I dreamed of getting to go to Knoxville. There was a few years there where my dad and his buddies would go to Knoxville for the Nationals every year, and I wasn't old enough to get in the pits, so I didn't get to go. And by the time I was old enough to get in the pits, they wouldn't go. And so, man, the first time I got to go to Knoxville was really special. I've been there a ton of times since then, but bummed I'm going to miss the Corn Belt Nationals. But hopefully somebody can grab the win on CSI Shocks. As I said, Jake will be there helping Mario Klauser. He's been working on his car a little bit, but he can help some customers while he's there as well. So didn't have a planned topic tonight, but wanted to jump on, answer any questions you have, update you guys on some things. We just were so busy today. A lot of quarter midget families in town. I didn't get a planned topic. I apologize for that, but we're here and we're going to answer any questions you got. One thing I did want to bring to your attention was our YouTube page. So we get a lot of people that will call and go, hey, how do you do this? And I'm always referring them to a Monday morning quarterback topic where we covered that. I know there's a lot of people that aren't on Facebook, they're anti-social media or whatever, but they can watch all the Monday morning quarterbacks. So we've got them all here on our page. So while you're there, like and subscribe, and you can find all the Monday morning quarterbacks there, which is really cool. They're all kind of categorized in one place if you had missed one or whatever. So we will jump into some questions now. A couple other people I'll want to recognize before we jump into that was I always like to recognize first-time winners. Dalton Dowdy, a former quarter midget customer of ours, he grabbed his first micro sprint win at SIR. Jackson Bishop, a former house car driver for us, he won at SIR this weekend as well. And then out west, Tristan Gardino picked up the California Speed Week Championship in the non-wing division using our products there. So Good week for everybody, and we certainly appreciate all of you guys that are tagging us on social media. We've been sending out some discount codes and stuff periodically to our web store for those of you doing that, so we greatly appreciate it. So, Laura, yep, we literally were helping customers. At one point, we had our engineering intern for the summer, Vance Weber. He was flagging, and T-Bone was helping spot some races. I even flagged a few races. You know, quarter midget race, you got to jump in and help however you can, keep the show moving. They're long enough days as it is. So the club did a really good job to try to get that ran in. So my wife looks like she made some crazy comments. I would think that would be Hudson on there. Hudson's getting excited. The closer we're getting to his 5th birthday and we're going to these quarter midget tracks, he's going to be making his debut soon. So one other really cool thing from the weekend and all the wins and the good runs we had, I think there was 36 kids that landed on the podium, or 36 potential podium spots, and our guys and gals took up 24 of those 36 spots. So I don't know if we've ever had a weekend like that at a quarter midget race before, or certainly a quarter midget race of that caliber, but I had several people come up to me and say, we got this set up from Pit Logic and it's spot on. So pretty easy for us to do that at our home track, but we do try to get you Pit Logic setups and good baselines for whatever. So really cool to see that platform that we've built with Kevin and Chance Crum grow and not only be a nice tool for organization and your setups, but a way for us to communicate race-proven setups, whether they're from us or from our partners we work with. I know Frank Galusha at Speedway's given us some of his setups for Stallard, and Jake Hagopian's given us some for the D1 cars. Austin at Hyper's given us some. Joe Devon at DRC. Of course, Jake Argo, our production manager, works on a lot of non-wing cars. He's put up some of his non-wing setups. I put up some of my midget setups. So there's a lot of cool content for you to download on Pit Logic. So, all right, Troy, explain the purpose of tying down the front shocks on a 600 micro. So this goes for pretty much any car that we're working on dirt, and if it's a wing car, we would run a little bit more rebound than if it was a non-wing car. But when the track has plenty of grip, and the way the tires are now, and as good as these race cars are, if you don't have what we would call tie down, a shock with more rebound than compression, if you don't have some of that in the left front, certainly, it's just going to, as you go to pick the throttle up, you're going to experience the front end coming up quicker than you want and losing the nose of the car and not being able to finish rotating the corner. It's really going to be able to help you carry a lot more speed from entry to the center of the corner, keeping the nose of the car down and settled. Certainly as the track slicks off, we will start to take that rebound out to increase weight transfer to the rear and get more forward drive in the slick. So across the board, pretty much midgets, sprint cars, micros, when the track's got grip, you're running a decent amount of rebound in those front shocks just for control. So everybody, gosh, as recent as 10 years ago, non-wing sprint car, they would start with easy up, which is less rebound than compression. Shocks on the front, they'd push off for hot laps that way. And man, if you did that now, the car would wheelie over backwards. The cars are just, the chassis builders have figured out ways to make more grip through motor placement and pickup heights. The tires are better than ever before. The shocks are better than ever before at making grip. So that's the main reason for that. Mark. I like Mark's got a diamond and it says top fan by his name. I think that's a new feature that Facebook has, and it's maybe people that are most interactive on your page. And Mark is a top fan, so thanks, Mark. I think I saw a top fan on Kevin Crum's as well. With the weather, do you think the Brickyard track will be different from last year? So I don't know this to be factual, so take it for what it's worth. But I've I've heard through the grapevine that the track is going to be a little bit different layout than it's been the last few years. So Brickyard traditionally has been a very round, gets super high grip. It's really hard to keep the cars from biking on a main day. And when I was doing the 500 this year, drive right by the track every morning on my way in for practice, and that groove was as black as it was the day we left A Mains there last year. So I thought, man, if they put it in the same spot, this thing's going to be gripped up really, really quick, because you could see a definite black circle where we ran. So the weather, it's really hard to tell. I don't play a lot into it. I've lived here in Indiana for over 20 years now, and when it's humid, it'll show pop-up thunder showers and such every day, which it kind of shows that now. But I've been told that they're going to go, a lot of these national tracks, they've went to more longer straightaways and tighter corners, trying to increase the ability to pass. And so if they do that, that's going to be a bigger difference than the weather. Because I think, man, every year this race is in July. It's usually really hot. So we'll kind of see. We'll have to see what the track looks like and how it steps off and compare to some other parking lots we've been to as far as gearing. So, Steve, what's my thoughts on left rear spring rate, semi-banked Stanley chassis? So typically on the bank tracks, we'll run less left rear spring than we would on a flat track or a parking lot. And typically, as the car's got a good balance and it's rolling around the track good, as you take left rear spring out, you'll pick up speed. It's just that corner's got the most weight on it, and as you can get rid of some left rear spring rate and not load that tire quite as hard, those little horsepower engines like that. And it seems like as you can start to pull left rear spring out, you can find speed. You'll get to a certain point where you won't gain any more speed, and you'll actually lose turnability because the car just sits on the left rear and it doesn't want to help get it back to the right front. Tim Clausen, yeah, Tim, it's a bummer that it is on top of each other, but there's only so many weekends in the year, I guess. Hopefully, maybe you can get out there on Wednesday. We start practice Wednesday afternoon. I know the kids always like getting to see us, so. Mike Holbrook, on the Pit Logic app, is there a better way to organize the setups? I'm always trying to find a setup, but everything is showing, so it's hard to search for them. So there's a couple ways, and let me see if I can pull up on mine here. It's been a minute since I did it. I'm always deleting and whatnot, so let me see if I can show you. So if you can see on my phone, you can sort it by all cars. Right now it's sorted by all cars, all tracks. So if I clicked on the all tracks, then I could scroll. Sorry, I'm having a hard time doing it. I can scroll from the different tracks I have, and then you can sort it by that track, or you can sort it by car. So yeah, there is a couple ways you can do that. Like my quarter midget setups, I name the car as the class, so then I could sort it by class, and you can sort it by class and track. So yeah, there definitely is a way to search through your setups a lot better. Mark Ashcraft still on Google Earth. Yeah, we've ran in the same spot there at the Brickyard for 5 years now, maybe. Man, is it grippy. It's really grippy. And it does get hard to race because it's just a fast circle. And you get out of that groove and there's no grip because the line gets so grippy. So, does anybody else have any questions for tonight? Racing related, pit logic related? More than happy to answer any of those questions for you. Again, we will be at the Brickyard all week. Jake will be at Knoxville for the Corn Belt race. And then, we're rolling from that right to Sprint Week, Clay Cup for me, Eastern Grand. So We got a lot going on. So if you're going to be at the Brickyard, definitely come by and see us. We've got all of our new apparel available. We can show you our new JR4 shock that we have some customers using, and got a lot of cool stuff there. So our top fan, Kevin. I like that top fan feature. I guess there, who was it? Michael that asked. Kevin says you can also bookmark your setup, so then you could only go back and search the bookmarked ones. Like if you bookmarked maybe your setups that worked the best. So. Cam Smith. Cam's question is going from 1,000 to a 975 torsion bar on the right rear, loosening the car up on entry. So there's a point where when you go softer on spring rate, that initiates more roll, and typically softer is more grip until you reach a certain point, and then as the car rolls over, there's not enough stored energy and not enough spring rate there to load the tire adequately. So all we did was initiate roll, but there's nothing there to stick the tire. And that threshold is obviously always moving. It's a moving target. It's going to be based on track conditions and tire pressure and wheel spacing and pickup points, all sorts of things. So there's not like a simulation we could run that would say, going from a inch to a 975 is that threshold, but it could be. I would say there might be some nights where you put that 975 in and the thing loses grip because it's not sticking the tire as hard. And there might be other nights where you put the 975 in, it gets the extra roll it needs, and that sticks the tire harder than the inch did. So it's one of those things where you're kind of always playing with that. I do know from my experience, when you get much softer than an inch, that does happen way more frequently than if you went from a quarter to an inch. So you're right on that borderline with the 975 bar of getting a bunch of roll but not having the spring rate you need to stick the tire. So Steve, no problem. We try to always get stuff turned around as quick as we can during the race season so nobody misses anything. So Mark, we don't have a date yet for the maintenance section of Pit Logic. Kevin's been out enjoying the summer and racing like you guys have as well. They did Speed Week last week, and we've actually been working through some other things, but it is coming, and it will be out before the end of the season. Kevin would maybe have a little bit better answer on a timeline. I know we don't have a date, but whether that's going to be a month or 3 months, I'm not exactly sure, but we're trying to do a couple different things and have a rollout of a couple new features when we do it. We're also working on a tire library and stuff like that. So, well, thank you all for tuning in. If you got a question after we sign off, I will try to go back and answer it for you again. Please like and share our videos, and any of your friends that are not social media people, they can find all of our Monday Morning Quarterbacks on YouTube. We hope to see some of you at the Brickyard, and good luck wherever you're racing this week. We hope you have a happy 4th of July. Take care.